Ladies and gentlemen, it's been almost a month since government shut down the Canadian economy, and small businesses have not received a single penny. Let me say that again. It has been almost a month since governments shut down the Canadian economy, and our small businesses have not received a single penny in rescue assistance. Yes, last week they were able to begin applying for the small business emergency bank account. That money won't start flowing until next week. Worse yet, the finance minister admitted in the House of Commons last week that the wage subsidy will not arrive for as long as 4 weeks. And that's the best case scenario in reality. Because let me give you the scenario that we're faced with right now. For a small business to get a wage subsidy covering his March payroll, he will have to wait until May. That's right. A wage subsidy in May to cover wages paid out in March. And that's with revenues for small businesses having, in some cases, dropped to zero as a result of the shutdown. This is absolutely unsustainable, especially when you compare to our international competitors. Our friends in Germany paid emergency assistance to their small businesses on April the 2nd. The United States paid out its wage subsidy to small businesses through banks and credit unions almost a month ago. In fact, 220,000 American businesses have now received that assistance, unlike in Canada, where 0 businesses have received emergency assistance. That's why I'm here today, to make a practical proposal to bring urgent assistance to the small businesses who are the backbone of our Canadian economy. And so on behalf of the Conservative Party, we today propose the government make the wage subsidy available next week to small businesses through their banks and credit unions. It'd work like this. Right now, the government has set up an emergency business account. Unfortunately, has a limit of $40,000, which is not even close to enough to cover the bills, let alone pay the wages of the business. We propose to lift that limit for businesses that want to spend on wages. Businesses would then spend the money on wages and reimburse the banks or credit unions as soon as the wage subsidy arrives from the Canada Revenue Agency. In other words, the money is available now, and it can be repaid once the government sends the payment in 4 or 5 weeks. That would allow businesses to begin paying wages immediately for workers who are without pay and for businesses who are struggling with 80, 90, and even 100% revenue loss. It is a practical and simple solution. It is the approach the Americans took that allowed them to deliver emergency small business wage subsidies a month ago rather than in May. This is a practical solution we call on the government to execute immediately. We believe that they can have the wage subsidy in the hands of our small businesses in the next 48 to 72 hours if they follow this course of action. And it is necessary to move and move quickly. Our small businesses are literally drowning under a massive debt of unpaid bills, mortgages, utilities, wages, and other expenses that they simply cannot meet because governments have shut down the economy and made it impossible for them to generate revenue. We as Conservatives have been practical from the very beginning. We have fought for the subsidy to be brought up from 10% to 75%, and we won that fight. We said that credit unions should be allowed to deliver the emergency business accounts rather than just the banks themselves, and the government seems to be backing down on that as well. We told the government to close the borders to foreign visitors well before they actually backed down and agreed to do that, and we were proven right on that as well. We will continue to make practical, sensible suggestions to protect the lives and livelihoods of Canadians. Now, let me close by thanking James Cumming, the great Edmonton businessman and member of Parliament, who was instrumental in designing these proposals. Were it not for travel restrictions, he would be here today announcing them with me. But he could tell you, as an Edmontonian, as a businessman, how important it is to get the money flowing, to pay our workers, and to keep our small businesses alive. They are the lifeblood of our economy, and we must be there to protect them from this shutdown now more than ever. I close by signaling to the government that we stand ready to help them with practical suggestions, to brief them on ideas that might help solve the problems that they have caused. And we will be waiting next to our phones to receive their call, and we will answer it when it comes. Thank you very much.